Hi guys, hope you're doing well. My name's Jack and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at ICP. Let's jump in. So before we get in, if you haven't already, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell. I've been trading here, guys, for 5 years. I'm literally giving you my ideas for free on YouTube. So go on ahead now and click that subscribe button so you never miss another video. So let's jump in then. So what a move in the last couple of days. Bitcoin has absolutely flew along with the broader market, the US stock market, the UK stock market, and of course our altcoins are all making a similar sort of move, which is absolutely fantastic to see. To be honest, it was looking quite negative last week, but it just absolutely turned around. So we're going to take a quick look at Bitcoin here before we dive over to ICP, just to sort of take a look at where we are. So just to summarize then on Bitcoin, we're in an uptrend. We are in a bull market. Nothing much has really changed here. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We are above our weekly EMA band, which is all good. But the one warning sign we do have that is still here, guys, is this bearish divergence in the RSI on the weekly time frame. So what we're seeing here, you've got higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI, signifying, and what this means, guys, in the long term, i.e. the next sort of 3-6 months, is that this will probably end the bull market at some point. But as I say, these do take weeks and months to actually play out. So we do still have room to the upside, but just be aware of the signal because it does typically mark the top of market cycles. Okay. But again, it's not a sell signal, it's a caution signal because we definitely do have more room to the upside. And it also occurred at this major line of resistance that we have had for years, this upsloping trend line resistance here. Now, if we break that, guys, it could get very exciting, actually, because we have never really broken this trend line. So if we were to break this trend line, I don't really know what would happen. It could be an explosive rally, but we'll have to take it one day at a time. We're not there just yet, but it is worth noting that we look like we're potentially going to actually break that, which would be it would make things very interesting. So on the weekly time frame, everything's looking good except this bearish divergence here, which is playing out in the sort of slightly longer term. If we go down to the daily then and we remove our EMA band, so we had recently retested this low that we made at approximately 90k, and we've seen this strong wick to the downside. This week here caught a lot of people off guard, made a huge amount of liquidations, and of course everyone had their stop loss down here, so this wick just came out. And of course, the price turns around then. But generally speaking, guys, whenever you do see a long wick like this to the downside, especially piercing through support, that is a good sign of a move higher. And alongside that, we've also got this breakout of the RSI here, whereas we had the downsloping trend line on the daily time frame, and we have recently broken out of that and confirmed that signal now. We had a false break about a week ago, which I covered on the channel here, but this looks a lot more convincing. And generally, whenever you see, if you put the RSI on your chart, guys, and you're on the daily time frame or higher, and you see a downsloping trend line on the RSI, whenever you see a breakout, it usually is an early signal that there's actually a trend reversal here occurring, and that is going to push up to the upside. It basically signifies a breakout. So all in all, then, on Bitcoin, it's actually looking very good. It's nice to see the broader markets like the S&P 500 also following this rally. If the S&P 500 breaks out of here, this downsloping trend line, that could be very positive for Bitcoin and the altcoins as well. So, yep, a bullish week and things are looking good. The one potential warning sign is that the Trump inauguration could cause a sell-off because it has the potential to be one of those buy the rumor, sell the news event. So just be aware of that. On the 20th, there could be it could be a chance of some downside then, but for the moment, on the charts themselves, things do look very bullish right now. So if we just switch over to ICP and I zoom out here to the weekly time frame. So ICP, if I just put my EMA band on here, so just to summarize, we've got a breakout of ICP above our prior resistance that we made during most of this year, and we have now retested that resistance, turned it into new support for a month. Since the 16th of December, we've held the line here, which is very positive. We're also above our EMA band, and we seem to have held the line perfectly, which is great to see. Our RSI here is still carrying out this major breakout of this downsloping trend line and has now retested our midline, the 50% level of the RSI, for multiple weeks now. So this to me looks like it may have just found support here and that we may actually hold the line here. It is looking positive for ICP. There's no obvious warning signs on the weekly time frame. We're above our EMA band, check. We're above our RSI midline, check. And the broader markets are looking bullish. So ICP on these higher time frames here, guys, the weekly is looking good. And if we do see a breakout in the next couple of days, we're basically targeting that local high there of $15. If we bring it down to the 2-day time frame, so our 2-day is starting to get back above our EMA band here, which is good, guys, which is very good for those that follow this channel a lot. Basically, we use this 2-day EMA band as this basically to keep us on the right side of the market. So when price is above this EMA band, we look to buy. We want to be in the asset in question. This could be in any altcoin or any stock. Basically, when we're above the 2-day EMA band, we want to be in. So ICP is now there. Now it hasn't closed yet. It still has 1 day and 8 hours left. But it is positive that it is above here because that's one of my criteria for being in. Because basically, when the price is below the EMA band, my rules dictate that I must be out. But obviously, right now, that is not the case. We're now above, which is fantastic. It's an early sign that things could be reversing here. But of course, it's not confirmed yet. So we do just have to take that as it comes. If we go down to the daily time frame and remove our EMA band here. So on the daily time frame, we had carried out this pretty brutal correction right down to our $9 level, which was sort of in line with this trend line, which we've been tracking for quite a while here on the channel. It didn't quite make it to the trend line, but I mean, it got close enough. The trend line was at $9. It went to $9.20. So it has potentially a double bottom here on the daily time frame at around that $9 level, which is good. And obviously we're now rallying from that. So what we're waiting for here, guys, is we're waiting for a break of this downsloping trend line here. If we can break that downsloping trend line and confirm it, that would open the door to a pretty swift rally up to our $15, which from today's price will give you a nice 36% gain. And that would be your next price target here. We do have some minor resistance here at $12 as well. But basically, if you break this trend line, I would be targeting straight up at that $15 level. But again, we do have to wait for confirmation. I do have a small position on ICP right now because we are already above our 2-day EMA band. But I will continue to add more if we see follow through, i.e. a break of this downsloping trend line and closing multiple candles above our 2-day EMA band. But yeah, so we're just waiting for the breakout of this trend line. If that does occur, we'll be targeting that $15. What you don't want to see, guys, we don't want to see ICP rejecting this trend line or breaking up and then immediately falling back down. That would be quite negative and would open the door to more downside, potentially back down to that $9 level. But what we're hoping to see here is a confirmed break, a sustained break that's going to carry us higher to that $15 level. Other thing to note then is our RSI is currently above our midline again, which is the first sign things could be flipping bullish again. Obviously, we had this fake out in early January, whereas we broke above the RSI, the midline of the RSI, but we ended up falling back below. So we're hoping, guys, that this is not another fake out and that it's actually going to be a sustained rally. But obviously, we won't know that, but I will be here to keep you updated every step of the way. In terms of if we go down a little bit further then to the 4-hour, so we are currently above our 4-hour 200 SMA, which is the green line here, and which is being above this is very positive, right? Generally speaking, when you're above this gray line here, it means your upside is the more probable outcome, and likewise, when you're below it, it means downside is the more probable outcome. And we are now above it, so we need to stay above it. Again, I'm worried about this fake out that we had here a couple of weeks ago, because obviously all the signals pointed that it was going to go up to the upside, but obviously that didn't materialize and we broke back below. So we want to see ICP very soon break out of this trend line and break far above this 200 SMA here and not fall back below it. But obviously we won't know what's going to happen until this actually does occur. But for the moment, we're above our 200 SMA, we're above our 2-day EMA band, and we're now retesting this resistance level, this downsloping trend line, looking for that breakout, right? Our higher price target, so obviously you've got your first target here at $15, but ultimately on this channel, we are hoping for ICP to eventually hit we're looking for $150 to $250, which is our gold zone here, which would be an absolutely fantastic gain on ICP. Now, in case that doesn't happen, guys, and you need to protect your capital in case things go wrong, basically The invalidation for this is if we see ICP breaking back below our EMA band here and rejecting it, that's your signal to get out and protect your capital. And you can apply this to all of your altcoins, not just ICP. All right, so I'm going to leave this video here. If you did get some value from it, please do consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.